Welcome to part 38 of the Kicha Wong Dong series. In this edition, we're going to be looking at a technique called the Sang Dan Jurriki, known as the jumping punch. Also has the nickname of Superman punch because for a brief frame, you almost look like Superman flying through the air. Now, although this technique is not really used in Tang Soo Do traditionally until the form Basai, I believe the skills are quite straightforward for junior belts to learn. Once they learn it, they can have a huge confidence in throwing themselves into punches, and it's just a good confidence builder, as well as has a lot of applications for sparring and other areas of our training. So in terms of warm-up, you basically just need to have your basic punches down, have a good fundamental range of straight punches, or please watch the video on Papaki or my Sang Dan Jurriki video, and then a solid understanding of jumping and also scissor jumping. So if you need help, please watch the video on the Idan Apchagi or other jumping techniques. Once you have that down, you basically have the elements for the technique. So the technique itself, start off with a guards up position and your right leg back. But if your right side is not your favorite side, always have left side back. It's a good idea to have your stronger side back, get on that side first, and then attempt it on your other side. So for most of us, we'll have right leg back. You are going to throw a straight punch with your right hand. At the same time, you're going to lift up your right knee. And then as you throw the punch, throw your right leg back like you're starting a motorbike, or as you get up higher, it will almost look like a back kick. And you just lift and punch, lift and punch. Once you've got that mechanic going, it's more about leaning forward. So you might have seen in yoga, the warrior 3 position, where they sort of make a T with one leg straight and their arms forward. This is kind of the same thing, only you don't lean as far forward and you kick the leg back. So it's not both arms forward, it's just one arm forward. Your other hand is by your side protecting you. As you lift the knee and punch, you hop on the other foot. So you're in the air for less than a second and you just have an idea of lifting up. Now, you just make that hop on your left leg bigger to make the technique bigger until you have the full technique down, and you can have a little run up, you can sort of bounce on the spot, you can step into it. There are actually 3 kind of jumping punches which have this kind of mechanic. The one is where you're on the floor, like a short distance one. The next one is for distance, and the other one is height, and obviously you can mix these 3 up. You just drive the right knee up as high as you can, like as if you're going to do a scissor kick, jump, 2-step jump motion, snap kick, and instead of throwing the kick, you throw the leg back like a back kick and launch your arm forward. Common mistakes that I see are people not driving the knee up and therefore not having the 2 techniques work together. They'll lift the knee up and punch at the wrong time, or kick back. The kick back and the punch should be simultaneous. So try and get those 2 motions going together, and a good way of practicing this is by doing a different technique where you have 2 targets or 2 partners and you do a flying side kick and a punch. This is almost the same movement, and I find that sometimes people can, when they have targets to visualize, it can help them out a lot. The next common mistake is people looking down at the floor. I think because they think that they're leaning forward in the technique, their head has to look at the floor, and as we should know by now, that if you look at something, that's the direction you're going. So either look forward, or even better, look up and you'll jump higher. So make sure you're not looking down, because you wouldn't look down at a basic, so why would you look down at this technique? Third common mistake is what I call admiring your own handiwork, where you're so happy with the jump that when you land, you forget about your guard, your stance, everything. So a way to do this, especially in pad work, is as you throw the punch, just encourage your partner to encourage you. When you land, keep your guards up, keep your posture. And as I always say, you can have the best dive or best gymnastic performance, but if your landing doesn't stick and you don't have the correct posture as you land, it's all for nothing. So concentrate on the technique, that's great, but once you land, just think about your basics, landing a good guards up, good stance, everything else. So once you feel you have the technique down, it is always important to test it. The first one is actually hitting a target with the 3 3 different kinds of jumping punch, and making sure that as you punch, your fist is aligned. So if you want to wear gloves for this at first, that's fine, but again, always punch with the 2 knuckles, always forward and keeping your head up and making contact. The second drill is what we talked about earlier, which is making sure you do it on one side and then the other. For some reason, this technique can be quite natural on your favorite side, but on your least favorite side, people tend to fall apart. So don't ignore it, because as my instructor always said, if you have to think about which side you're performing in a technique, it's taking too long. So in martial arts and Tang Soo Do, we should be ambidextrous with all our techniques, and this technique is no exception. So just change back and forth, right and left. If you do have a sort of weakness, maybe on your left side, practice that side more. Third drill is my favorite. It's putting this jumping punch into combination. So I'm going to give you 3 examples. The first one being very basic, the last one being quite complicated. So the first one, we have a common punching drill in our dojang, which is a jab, cross, hook, cross. All you do is you take out that last cross and add in the Superman punch, and if you have a pad holder holding for you, they simply just move back for the 4th punch, and it's a pretty fun drill to move around and try it a couple of times on one side and obviously the other. The next little combo is one named after my friend Nathan, who created it, and it's a very similar drill, jab, cross, hook. This time a spinning back fist, take the leg all the way back, and then with the same side jump up and punch. And this one we call the Nathan. Tons of fun, my students really enjoy it. The last one is very complicated, so maybe don't try it if you're too lower belt, but it's just showing how your kicks, and especially your spinning kicks, can be added on. So this one's called the Ollie, named after Oliver, who showed me it, and it's a jab, cross, hook, spinning hook kick, and then with the leg taken back, you do the jumping punch, followed by a roundhouse, 360 roundhouse. So I hope you can see that this jumping punch can be used in many combinations, many different situations, and it's great for free sparring as well, because often people don't see it coming. Please play around with it, have fun with it. Thank you very much for watching this video on the jumping punch. Let me know if it helped. Also let us know in the comments below what other techniques you'd like to see in the future. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next month. Take care. Thanks.